Well, hello there, and welcome to my little arty corner of the internet. It's Tuesday the 16th of November, and boy, is it a November day outside. It's misty and mizzly and drizzly and grey and damp, and the colours are flaming, autumn colours are flaming against the greyness where you can see them through the mizzly, drizzly, faint mist. It's actually reminds me very much of my very first day in secondary school and the walk there. That was September, mind you, and I'm going back a number of decades. 11 years old. I had to walk through a graveyard to get to my new school, my secondary school, high school. And it was wet and it was grey and it was miserable. And days like today always remind me of that, even though the colours weren't autumnal, but they do. And yeah, well, we won't say much more about that, I don't think. Okay, borders. So I hope that you found yesterday's video long, not too long. It was a long video, not too long, I hope, with me doing step-by-step explanations or demonstrations of how to draw some of the patterns we've done. I'm going to do one today, I think, and then use it in here and see if I can add colour. I'm not feeling the best. I was poorly overnight and I've got a headache, a migrainey, headachy, brain foggy, drifty, floaty, weird feeling at the moment. And sort of like headache tablets. Haven't really touched it. I sort of need to sleep it off, but I'm not ready to sleep it off, if that makes any sense. But let's have a look. So back to quadrille paper. Where's my glasses? Because they really help me see. So glasses. Okie dokes. And so what I'm going to do, I'm going to start with, we have a look. I am going to need this split into sections of 2, so I think that'll be fine. And then I'm going to need, I think it's 3 sections, 1, 2, 3, no 4. So there's 4 rows, and in each section we've got 2 blocks to make 1 column, so they're 2 squares wide. Yeah, I've got a little bit at the end there. That's fine. There we go. Okie dokes, next job, find a pen. So I am going to do this in black on here, and hopefully you'll be able to see what I'm doing. So the first step, I'm going to start by, I like to draw the zigzags first. So this is right in the centre. It's the second line down, second row down if you like. And then I'm just going to turn these into diamonds or squares on their point. Again, I'm just taking my time as well. Perhaps even more so today because I am really, really dozy. And then while I'm here, I am going to put a box inside the box. So it's just a question of ordering inside those. Okay, now the next one is to draw another zigzag. How am I going to do this? You know what I'll do? I'll do it this way. So I'm going to draw them so the zigzag chevron shape is now the outermost rows, and the direction of the top So we've got the point here, so we'll be the upward point here, downward point, as it were. Of course, with the bottom line, it's all a bit more the other way round because it's mirrored. It's mirrored. The line of symmetry is this way. And I was going to draw a straight line there, and I stopped myself just in time. So that's the second step of this. The next step, is it second? I don't know. I'm not keeping count. Just next step. So the next step is going to be joining this point of a diamond all the way up to there. So we'll do it all the way along. So hopefully you can see what I'm doing. So it's this bottom, it's where these two diamonds join, and all the way up to there. And then we're going to do it on the other side just to complete the pattern. Because what you do on one side of the diamond, you do on the other side, as it were. I'm not sure if I'm making much sense. So that means we're getting these arrowheads there. I'm hoping I didn't do this pattern yesterday, because you do know that I can be a completely dozy, dizzy mare, don't you? No, we didn't. No, not quite. And so what you do above, you do reflected in the bottom part. And normally I would have drawn a black line along here to make it look like that nice kind of the boundary of an arch that you'd get, or border, but I'm not today. I'm going to leave it like this, because I think this space here, it's interesting because I quite like this shape. There are lots of things you could do with it, but I think I'm going to do it quite simply, and I'm going to put not a full bead or orb in here, but just a partial one, like it's tucked in underneath, or a bit like a feather or a semicircle or a little arch. We'll have a look what we can do with that in a moment, because I've got space here to do that. So that adds something a little bit different than just the straight edges. Of course, I haven't gone outside this line, so it would be easy enough for me to fit this in one of my borders, or one of my arches. Borders, arches, all the same. Okie dokes. What next? What next? I am going to divide the area in between the squares. So I'm going to connect that floating square to the larger square within which it sits, with just some vertical lines. Then I'm so tempted to, I'm going to do a couple, I'm going to see what I can do here. There you are. I bet that was bugging somebody. I hadn't done that one there. And I am just going to tie my border off like that. And I'm going to put an end to it, because I can. This is a very typical kind of thing that I do often in my drawings. I put this little archy thing in the middle, and then a couple of spirals on either side. And then here I just add just a little something just to finish it off. Do anything there. It just feels like it looks almost like a bracelet, doesn't it? I have tried beading in the past. I am not a good, I've tried all kinds of arts and crafts. I think you have to do that to find out what your forte is. Actually, one of my artistic creations using felt wire beads, felting, sort of like silk and goodness knows what, homemade sequiny things and all sorts of things. I actually won a competition with it. So, but I just seem to have kind of, lost my way, or it just doesn't appeal. I've tried to pick it up again since, and I just don't enjoy it the way I used to. It's fun while it lasted, as it were. There we go. Those little black bits just add a little bit. They're not what you'd call roundings in Zentangle. They are just straight lines more than anything. Miniature triangles in there just to fill that space a little bit. Yeah. Give you a closer up look. Oh no, we're as close as we can get, I think. Yeah. Oh no, pressing the wrong button. There we go, as close as we can get now. Glasses. Can't see more than about a foot in front of my eyes. The joys of reading glasses. Anyway, so that is really lovely. I really do like that. What do you think? I'm hoping you like it as well. So what I'm going to do, so let's have a look at how we can add some colour or shadow and highlight to this. Now then, I thought I had a darker one of these. Did I put it away, or was it rolled off somewhere? I may have rolled off somewhere. I may have put it in my pencil case. Or it could have vanished into the nether regions of like art and craft area. Or it could be right in front of me and I can't see it for looking, because that's often the most probable thing. This one will do. Okay. So let's take these downward pointing arrows and you can see them. So we've got these ones here that are pointing downwards. I'll come back to the other one in a moment, perhaps. Just some of them along. Oh, I was going to come back to it, but we're there. So I'm splitting these into half and I'm colouring in the left hand side of both the downward pointing arrows and the upward pointing ones. So that's a consistent pattern of shades, and I'll do the same with these at the top. So I might as well do each of them as I get to them. Wish I had the darker one out. It's not a brilliant day for me today with my head completely in the shed. Editing this is going to be interesting. So we've got this. Okay. Now then, what I'm going to do on these ones is I'm going to add shadow with my pen here to the right hand side of this channel around that diamond. That'll make it look like this part is higher up, catching the light, hopefully. If I'd coloured this side in, I'd just have had this bank of grey. Didn't want to do that. Okay, so that's one way of doing it. Another way, I'll leave that one in the middle. I'm going to colour these central ones in, like this. And then see, I'm tempted to do these grey and leave these ones light. Tell you what, instead of colouring them in, I'm just going to use some lines to fill them in, because that will give it, from a distance, the lines will just sort of like turn into one paler version of the grey. It's optical mixing of colours. Pointillists did it, and Impressionists used splotches of colour, different colours, to create a colour that could be seen when you viewed the painting at a distance. So that is lighter. And then I've got these ones here, which I could leave them like that, or I could attack them with a brown, couldn't I? Let's get this one out and let's just have a look. Instead of lines, I'm going to use little circles just for that, for a different texture, different feel. I'd just like to say thank you to everybody who's watched my videos, who's left a like, who's commented, who's subscribed. I appreciate you all very, very much. And for returning as well to watch my videos. This one today may not be my best or my most earth-shattering, but it is what it is. I feel like I not owe it perhaps, but just feel that if I get out of the rhythm of creating videos, then I don't know whether I'd let it fall by the wayside. I don't know. I know there will be things in life that come along that prevent me from doing this. So what do you think? How's that working for you? Is it or isn't it? This is the question. Okie dokes. Oh, gosh. Okay, let's get some chalk pastels. Ooh, gosh. Definitely I'm throwing things around here today. Alrighty, right. I've got a ready brown somewhere here. Oh, this one's the Conte pastels. So I am going to add the ready brown right at the tip of these arrows, and then hopefully I'll be able to find a thingy. If not, I am not going to fret about it, because I got one here. Yep, I've got one I can use. No idea how these will or won't work on this paper, to be honest. Okay, they work okay. So that just adds that little bit more of an intense kind of colour there. And I'm going to do the same with greys. I don't want to use black though, because that blacks tend to be overwhelming. And with these, I'm going to put the darkest bit at the other side. Part of me is wishing I'd used a navy blue now, an indigo. It's the lovely dark indigo, goes really well with rusty colours. Reminds me very much of rust. And purples, deep, you know, bluey purples. You can sometimes get greens on rusted iron. So there's that. Okay. I need another. Where's my? Do you think I can see what I'm looking for? I can. And I am going to put some of this yellow ochre colour there, and hopefully find a. Well, they're all a bit on the mucky side. That'll do. Get that there. Excuse me. There's some golden orbs there, just some gold. So that looks okay. These ones, I think, again, I'm alternating where I darken them. So, the one that touches the square, I'm putting some chalk right close to the square, and then the other one, whose, you know, apex, that bit is down there. I think you'll see it's so much easier to show than it is to explain. Okay, now I'll just get these in, so I've got some kind of. And I am aware that I could have done this without adding the pale grey first. I just wanted to make a distinct line between one side of the arrow and the other that isn't a black line. And something, so, you know, something that was a definite line, but without introducing more black there, so that it's show you don't always need that black line. Okay, so that one's and that one. So search for one that's touching, one of these grey ones that's touching that square there. And then once you've done that, it's easy enough to continue the pattern because you're alternating up, it's an up and down kind of thing. It's quite cyclical. So there we go, and that's just intensified that. I'll get my tacky cloth here just to wipe up any loose bits of chalk. So that's increased. Sorry, I'm out of. I hope I didn't miss that one. I keep forgetting to look. So sorry. That one's intensified the shadows in places. Those are a bit smoother blends. Problem is, when you zoom in, you can see every little imperfection. When you're looking at it separately, it's a bit different. It's very, very structural, very, very geometric. I prefer this shading to this one. But then today I've been doing some digital art. I'm not up to drawing templates, and colour. Me and colour. I really shouldn't do it when I'm not feeling too wonderful, but no, it's art, and as I won't be able to sleep with my head as it is. So yeah, there we are. So what I will do before I finish today is let me just draw beside this the repeating fragments. So it's, if I pop the there's my pencil, the pencil line in, split the rectangle into half vertically and then horizontally, and then each of these sort of like vertical sections, we split them in half again like this. So each section is 4 squares high by 2 squares wide. And then the first job is to draw that square. The next job is to echo those lines. In this case, I drew a square inside, but there are other things you could do. And then it's connecting the left-hand side and right-hand side at the top and the bottom like that. And that's your basic repeating fragments. Rectangular rather than a square one. I mean, you could do this in square form. I got enough squares there. Nope. So let's go below. 2, 3, 4 by 1, 2, 3, 4. But the shape you will get is quite different. So dividing it in half in each direction, then each of the vertical sections into half again. Start by drawing that central square. The zigzag above and below. And then I'm going to turn this, and I'm off camera, I'm so sorry. Like this. And then from this point down to the centre there. From this point of the diamond down to the centre there. So it is exactly the same construction. Let me see. If I zoom out, it'll be so much easier for me. Camera. It's exactly the same construction. I haven't put the central square in. It's exactly the same construction, but because we've changed the shape, it looks different. This one really does need a bead in it. Because I can. So I wanted to do that to these. But yeah. And of course, you can also add aura lines in. So as well as I could pick this shape out here as well. Yeah. So if I had another, they would need to get sort of like these inner V shapes, I suppose. Yeah, would. Which would be quite fun, quite cool. Just depends how much space you've got, how wide you draw your borders. The wider and bigger you draw them, the more opportunities you have to add more detail and pattern and so on in them. And that's where creativity comes in. So fingers crossed I haven't lost too much of this by going off camera. I do this from time to time, more often than I'd like. So I get so lost in art, I forget to check what I'm doing and what's going on with the camera. So I do apologise if that's the case, but hopefully you'll have enough here. Let me just have a look. If I move that down, I'll do a close-up. Nope, wrong button. Try that one. That will work. So there's a close-up here now of, try and get it close up, of what I've done today. And hopefully that's enough for you to follow and to get some ideas from. I really am struggling with colour and things today. Just best not to go there. It's head and shed day. I've said that several times, so I'm repeating myself. So I'm going to take myself off for a very big mug of tea and have a look at this, and hopefully you'll find it useful. And just a single pattern here. Does it work? Oh, let me know. But it does look like a bracelet, the top one. So thank you so much for joining me. Thank you for all the love that you show, the likes and subscribes and the returning visits and the lovely comments. And hopefully I'll see you here again soon. Take care now. Bye-bye. Bye.